Have you ever noticed that we often know exactly what is good for us, and yet we still do the opposite? We know we should go to sleep earlier. We know we should stop checking our phones. We know that worrying about something again and again will not change the outcome. We know we shouldn't react in anger, and still, we do it. Why?
Because the part of you that knows and the part of you that reacts are not always the same part of the mind. And this is something ancient yogic philosophy understood thousands of years ago. We usually speak about the mind as if it were one single thing. We say, my mind is anxious. My mind wants this. My mind knows better. But what we call the mind is actually much more complex. There are different functions operating inside us, and sometimes they are in conflict with each other.
So when I know that I shouldn't do something, but I still do it, there are actually different parts of the mind involved?
Exactly. In yogic philosophy, one of the most important distinctions is between manas and buddhi. Manas is the reactive mind. It receives information through the senses and responds to what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we want, and what we want to avoid. Manas constantly asks, do I like this? Do I dislike this? Do I want more? Do I want to escape? And it moves very quickly. One thought appears, then another, then another. You pick up your phone to answer one message, and 20 minutes later you are watching something completely unrelated. You hear a song, and suddenly you remember something that happened 10 years ago. Then you think about someone, then your work, then what you are going to eat later, then your phone again. The mind keeps moving.
Is that what people mean when they talk about the monkey mind?
In a way, yes. The term monkey mind is used in different traditions, but the image is very accurate. Imagine a monkey jumping from one branch to another. That is how an untrained mind often behaves. Thought, desire, memory, fear, notification, another thought, another desire. And the problem is not that thoughts appear. The problem begins when we automatically follow every single one of them. We assume that because a thought appeared, we must engage with it. Because a desire appeared, we must satisfy it. Because an emotion appeared, we must act from it. But we do not.
So what is the other part? If manas is the reactive mind, what is buddhi?
Buddhi is the faculty of discernment. It is the ability to see clearly, to step back, to recognize consequences, and to distinguish between what feels good immediately and what is actually good for us. Buddhi can say, this may feel good right now, but tomorrow I will regret it. Or, this is difficult right now, but I know it is good for me. It is a deeper kind of intelligence, and interestingly, Buddhi is often quieter than the reactive mind. Impulse is loud, fear can be loud, desire can be very loud, but wisdom often speaks quietly. It says, wait, pause, look again.
Why does the reactive mind seem to win so often, even when we know better?
Because reaction is fast, while wisdom requires space. Imagine it is midnight. You know you need to sleep. Your body is tired. You have to wake up early. Your deeper intelligence knows all of this. And then Manas says, one more video, just 5 more minutes, let me check one more message. And suddenly it is 1:30 in the morning. Or someone says something that triggers you. Part of you already knows. Do not answer right now. Wait, calm down. But another part of you immediately wants to defend itself, to attack, to explain, to prove something. And before the wiser part of you even has the space to respond, the reaction has already happened.
So is the goal to control manas? To control the mind?
I would use a different word, not control, train. The mind is an extraordinary instrument, but an instrument needs to be trained. The goal is not to destroy the mind. The goal is not to stop thinking. The goal is not to become emotionless. The goal is to create the right relationship with your mind so that the mind becomes your instrument instead of you becoming its instrument.
And this is where meditation comes in?
Exactly. This is one of the reasons meditation is so misunderstood today. People often think meditation is simply relaxation. You sit down, you close your eyes, you try to feel peaceful. But meditation is much deeper than that. Meditation is training. Every time you sit and your mind wanders, and you notice that it wandered, and you bring your attention back, something very important is happening. You are learning that you do not have to follow every thought. A thought can appear and you can observe it. An emotion can arise and you can feel it without immediately becoming it. A desire can exist without controlling your behavior. That space between what arises inside you and what you choose to do is freedom.
You also talk about different qualities of the mind, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. How does that connect to this?
These are called the three gunas, and they help us understand the state or quality of the mind at any particular moment. The first is Rajas. Rajas is movement, activity, desire, restlessness, ambition, agitation. When Rajas dominates the mind, you may be physically sitting still, but internally you are running. What next? What else? What am I missing? Who messaged me? What should I achieve? Where should I go? The mind is constantly reaching for the next thing.
Which sounds very much like modern life.
Very much. Our environment is almost perfectly designed to stimulate Rajas. Notifications, news, social media, constant information, constant comparison, constant urgency. The mind rarely gets the opportunity to become quiet. Then there is Tamas. Tamas is very different. It is heaviness, inertia, confusion, fog. You know what you need to do, but you cannot move. You procrastinate, you avoid, you disconnect. Everything feels heavy.
And what about Sattva?
Sattva is clarity, balance, light. It is not passivity, and it is not weakness. It is a state in which the mind becomes clear enough to perceive reality without so much distortion. In Sattva, you can feel something without immediately reacting. You can experience desire without becoming controlled by it. You can make decisions from clarity rather than agitation. Your intelligence becomes stronger than your impulses, and that is one of the deeper goals of spiritual practice. Not simply to feel calm, but to become clear.
So the goal isn't to live only in Sattva all the time?
No, the gunas are always moving. We experience all of them. Sometimes we need Rajas, we need movement, we need action, we need fire. Tamas also has a function. Without it, we could not sleep. The issue is not that these qualities exist. The issue is when we become unconscious of them. When Rajas controls us, we cannot stop. When Tamas controls us, we cannot begin. Sattva gives us enough clarity to recognize what is happening.
There is also a concept you mentioned earlier, prajnaparada. What does that mean?
Prajnaparada is one of my favorite concepts. It is often translated as acting against your own wisdom. You know, but you do not follow what you know. You know you need rest, but you keep pushing. You know a certain habit is harming you, but you continue. You know that reacting will destroy your peace, but you react anyway. You know your body is asking you to slow down, but you ignore it. You know a situation is no longer good for you, but you keep returning to it. There is a gap between knowing and living what we know, and so much human suffering happens inside that gap.
That is probably something every person can recognize.
Yes, because knowing is not transformation. You can read hundreds of books, you can understand philosophy, you can know exactly what you should do. But the real practice begins when knowledge becomes embodied, when what you know begins to change how you live. This is why spiritual practice is called practice. You cannot simply understand presence intellectually. You practice presence. You cannot simply understand awareness. You practice awareness. You cannot read your way into a peaceful mind. At some point, you have to sit with your own mind.
So for someone watching this, what can they actually do today? Something simple.
I would begin with one pause. That is all. The next time your mind says, react now, answer now, buy it now, run away now, check your phone now, do not fight the thought. But also, do not immediately obey it. Pause, take one slow breath, and ask yourself, who is speaking right now? Is this clarity or is this impulse? Is this my deeper intelligence or am I simply reacting? You do not need to have the perfect answer. The pause itself is the beginning, because in that pause, you are no longer completely unconscious. You are watching the mind. And the moment you can observe the mind, you are no longer completely controlled by it.
So perhaps the first step to mastering the mind is simply realizing that we are not every thought that appears inside it.
Exactly. Your thoughts are experiences appearing within your awareness. They are not the totality of who you are. And once you begin to understand that, your relationship with your mind starts to change. The mind can be a beautiful servant. It can create, it can imagine, it can solve problems, it can help us build extraordinary lives, but it should never become our master. This is the work, not fighting the mind, understanding it, training it, and eventually learning to live from something deeper than every passing thought.
I think that's a beautiful place to begin.
It is. Because before we can change our lives, we first have to understand the instrument through which we experience them, the mind. And this is only the beginning.
Welcome to Ascend Portal, Conversations of Wisdom,
where ancient wisdom meets the modern mind. Welcome to Ascend.